Hi there, I'm Eric with the Design Hub, and today I'm going to walk through Wrike with you. Wrike is our project management software that we use here at the Design Hub. I'm going to quickly run through Wrike and show you how to insert your first project. On the left-hand side here, you're going to see a tab called Design Hub Local Markets. You're going to hit this drop down, and it's going to open up a couple options. Right now we're working on some new stuff, but what you want to hit is New Campaign Template. You're going to right click on New Campaign Template and hit Duplicate. We're going to leave 2018 with the long dash as the naming convention. Then we're going to add our information. So for this example, we're going to call this ABC Company. What the request is going to be. So we're going to set it up for some run a site banners, ROS, and the approval date. Next, most importantly, is we want to select the folder where this project is going to live. I'm down in Miami, so I'm going to use myself as an example. I'm going to hit the plus select folder. You could do two things. You can add your market that you'll be inserting a request for by number or by name. So if I type in Miami, Miami will pop up as the active jobs. Also, the market number is 131. So whichever one works best for you, feel free to use that. So I'm going to go ahead and click Miami. That's going to drop the active job into the active jobs subfolder for Miami. I'm going to uncheck with assignees and hit duplicate. It does its magic and we are set. This is our template for any new project. As you can see on the left hand side here in the active jobs folder, we're going to work our way down to Miami, which is in the South Florida region. And you'll see it right here in the Miami subfolder as ABC Company. Now we can minimize this panel by hitting this icon so we could see a little bit more. So for this campaign, we're going to do a set of run a site banners, so we don't need these other tasks like social media, homepage takeover, landing pages, sync banner ads, point of sale, newsletters, and other. These are all things that the Design Hub does on a regular basis, but for this example, we are not going to use those. So holding down Command, I'm going to select everything I don't want to use, and I'm going to right click and hit delete. Now, this is the parent task, and under this parent task are some subtasks. So the first thing you want to do, especially coming in as a project manager, is you're going to want to assign yourself the main task. I'm going to add myself. If you are a project manager, you're going to want to add yourself to this main parent task so that you are notified of any changes on these subtasks. Now for me to get these sent to a designer, I'm going to the design subtask. I'm going to click on the design subtask. Now that I am in the design subtask, I'm going to open that window up a little bit. First thing I'm going to want to do is set the approval date. This is the date that the client needs to be sent the creative for approval. So for this example, I'm going to say it is October 10th. The next thing I'm going to want to do is go to this 3 fields option. Sometimes this option might not be displayed, so you're going to want to click on this icon and it'll open up these 3 fields. First, you're going to want to re-enter the client's name. Next, the industry. Let's call it airlines. And the launch date. So the approval date is October 10th, but the campaign will not start until the 15th. These are all very important to put in, especially for reporting purposes. So it enables us to maybe look up other airline creatives that we've done in the Design Hub quickly. Next, you're going to want to add all the information for the request. This is where you're going to add things like banner sizes that you need, copy for the banner, the CTA or call to action, maybe a website link for inspiration. You can also add other things to this that will help the designer create these ads for you. You can add things like brand guidelines, maybe some information the client told you, like they don't like the color blue, so we definitely don't want to use the color blue. Once you have all the information on there, you want to attach things like logos or images that they want to use for the creative. You could do that a couple ways. You can go up here and hit the attach files tab here. You can drag and drop. So if I want to quickly drag and drop, I could drop the files right into the task, or I can also drop it into the comments area. Once you've added your creative, so I'm actually going to show you just how to do that. The creative will upload. Once you've added all the information, logos, descriptions, any images they might want to use, you're going to want to assign it to a Design Hub manager. That manager will then assign that to a designer that is available. In order to do that, for this example, I'm going to add myself as the manager. This here is the status of the task. So as a project manager, when you first create your task, you're going to leave this as new/unassigned. When you assign it to me, I will be notified that this project has been created, and I'll come out, check it out, make sure everything that's needed, and I will change the status to assigned. And then add a graphic designer to the project. So in this case, I'm going to leave it set to myself as the designer. Once the designer gets the request, he or she will get an email notifying them that a project has been assigned to them. They will come in, take a look, and change the status to in progress when they're working on the project. Once they've completed the project, they will submit the creative and change the status to creative submitted. Then the project manager will receive a notification in their email that the creative has been submitted. They will take that creative and send it off for approval to the AE or to the client, also changing the status to out for approval. This will let the Design Hub manager know that it's out for approval and waiting on some feedback from the client or the AE. Let's say there's something that needs to be changed on the banners. You can change the status to needs revision, and that will notify the designer that a revision is necessary on the project. You can also tag a designer and let them know what revisions are necessary. So you can write out a quick little comment tagging the designer, letting them know exactly what revisions need to be done, and hit send. And that will update the project. Now the process starts over again. The designer will change the status to in progress while they're working on it, and back to creative submitted once they finish the updates. Everything gets sent off for approval again. Changing out for approval. You got approval, everything looks great, client loves it. Now the project manager is going to want to change the status to completed. Now here to the left, you're going to see some subtasks underneath this main ROS task. So for example, if you want to maybe give yourself a reminder in Wrike to schedule banners, maybe even insert how many impressions were reserved, any information that might help remind you that you have to schedule these if you are also doing trafficking in DFP, this might be able to help. But for this example, we really don't need these two subtasks. So I'm going to select both again by hitting Command, and I'm going to delete these. Now we're left with the main task. We can mark this main task completed. Now, once completed, you'll notice that the project no longer has any tasks in this window. In order to see these tasks, you can actually hit this filter icon. It'll open it up, and you can hit the all finished. checkbox here on the right hand side, and it'll show you all the projects that have been completed if you want to go back and check it out. Really quick, I want to show you something called archiving. So in this example, you can see in the Miami subfolder, there are lots of projects. Now I don't want this folder to be too cluttered, so I might want to move this project from the active folders to the archive folder. Let me show you where that's at. Here in the archive jobs. So everything that we archive gets sent into this subfolder. So we want to add this recently completed project to the archives. So I'm going to go back to active jobs drop down, find the region for South Florida, go to the Miami subtab and find my project. When adding a project to the archive, you're going to add it right onto the project. So by clicking on this project, you're going to go to this plus icon. You're going to type in either the market number or the market name. Since it's already set as an active job, the only option will be the archive. Click on the archive, and you will be able to remove it from the active jobs. And if you notice on the left hand side, it jumped out of the active jobs folder. Going to minimize that, and I'm going to go to the archived jobs. I'm going to scroll down and find South Florida, Miami, and you'll notice that the project has jumped to the archive folder. You can send this old archive project back to the active jobs folder. You simply go back to the plus icon while having the project selected. Type in the market number or the market name. You'll notice it has active jobs as the only option. Hit active jobs and delete the archived jobs, and it will jump back into the active jobs folder. Before this training is over, I want to show you a couple more things. Up at the top, if you hit the inbox, you'll be able to see every time you were mentioned in a project. You can click on a mention and it'll open the project. You'll also receive these as emails as well. Next, you can go to the My Work option, and this will show everything that has been assigned to you. If you're a designer, if you're a project manager, it'll also show everything that you've submitted. Next, we're going to go to reports. Reports is a great way to see, again, top view of what you're currently working on. So this is a report that I've created for myself from things that have been submitted, things that have been currently assigned to me, things that are out for approval, or that I'm currently working on, which is in progress. If you need a report created for yourself, I'll be more than happy to help you. Just reach out. So that's a quick overview of Wrike. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to myself, Eric Perez, Tom Moresco, or David Penny for any help with Wrike.